Hey, how you doing? Wick News 8100. So I'm going to just go through a list of basically information that I pick off the stones little by little over the years. You just pick up these little things that happen, and you can actually read deep into this further than just the images and the names. You can read, so for example, start with northeast, south, west, south. So it can go like this. It can go like that. It can go like that. So it has like basically the way I see it is it has like a round circle. It has a cross like that through it, or like a star. So even this direction here has images of itself. See how that face right there lines up diagonal? And then when you complete the turn, now it runs, now you're looking at it this way. So each degree changes the image. That's how deep that is. Font. So when you're looking at this, you can see there's 4 letters or 5 letters right there. The way I can read it is it changes. So it could say Atem, Atem, or it could say teacher, Teacher down here, or it could say tech, Tech, techie. That's as far as I got on that, but that's just examples of the way you can do it. And student, the word student in French is élève, which kind of means elevate, Eleve. So the name Eve is actually in the word student in French, and it means to lift up. It means to raise up. So moving on, we got grammar. So like we were reading here, it could say tree, Tree, or cree, Cree, which is create, creator, 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 which is Jesus. So we're looking at Jesus this way. J-E-S-U-S. Something like that in there. S-U-S, but it's a W. So grammar has letters that change. So a J is G in French, B's and V's, T's and Y's, J's, Y's, so that could say Yahweh. It could say down here, D-A-V-I-D, David. Or it could say, well, anyways, I'll leave it at that for now. Language. So languages throughout time mix with each other, especially when you go back to the root. When you go back to the root of language, you're going to find it all works together as one kind of machine. I even thought that said aloha, A-L-O-H-A, aloha. Let's keep going here. Yin yang. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You've got your female side, you've got your male side. Light, dark, right, wrong, God, Satan. You know what I mean? That I won't say who's who on here. We just kind of leave that out for now. Runes. So runes are when people are in shapes. So they form like if a person puts their hands up in the air, that's a letter, and that's basically what happens when you see little people. They're actually letters, and that's why runes are like that. It's like jumping jacks, but you're spelling names. Okay. Surface area. So surface area, basically, if you got, I'm just going to pull this stone here for for example, you don't have as much surface area on that as you do on that lengthways. So you have to shrink your image down. So this is the same image, but on a different stone with different materials, different modes, different. It's basically the artist was a different person. Wasn't all done by the same person. At least I don't think it was. Elements. So you've got periodic table of the elements. Whether they knew about it, I'm thinking they did. There's 64 elements, so it's well, there might be more than that, but that's basically 16, 32, 64, 128. So that sequence there. Different materials for different tools. So if you wanted to perform maybe a harder substance would do better for cracking nuts than a softer substance, or with inlays that might pop out. You can see right here. Where is it? Right here, a little hole there. And what I was thinking is that one of these inlays over time just popped right out of there. And whether these were put in here, or because that hole made me think, well, were these put on there, or were they, astrology. Obviously, these relate to constellations. The Great Bear, Ursa, Scorpio, everything. It all relates to astrology. So the Bible, astrology, games. So games would be like if it's almost like a psychological game. Even with me finding these, I become part of the game. And I don't know the rules to the game. I have to use my intuition and what I already know to play the game. So it's like jesters and circuses, and that's why I got circus here with royalty, because royalty always had jesters to prove the point of what is acceptable to everyone. Because if it's acceptable to the jester, I mean, they kind of hold a power over the king of basically making fun of him if something doesn't work out. Like, you're kind of, you kind of have to listen to your jester because he's smarter than you. That's basically it. So jesters have just as much pull as the royalty in a sense. Just dealing with people, priests, teachers. Pretty self-explanatory there. Creation. Obviously, we're looking at something that says day 6 down here, possibly Adam and Eve. Oz. Some of these stones relate to Oz because it's kind of a hidden kingdom, and it is in a sense magical or unreadable, almost fairy tale. The Emerald City is something everybody would love to find, but I think you really have to, like Dorothy, you really have to use your wits about you to find that city. Superman, Clark Kent, Luke Skywalker, Star Trek, Star Wars, cartoons. So basically, anything, if you grew up in the 80s and you watch cartoons like the Smurfs or like Fat Albert or anything, any cartoon whatsoever, this is where they get their ideas from. Smurfs, RoboCop, Running Man, you name it. Especially the higher paid celebrities like Jim Carrey. all his movies are deep psychological stories that go into these secretive realms. We're almost near the bottom here. Movies, okay, so yeah, movies. Paramount, Touchstone Pictures, anything with stone in it. You notice the similarities between mountains and movies. It's always mountains. They always start with a mountain scene or something like that. Countries, tribes, religion. We're all over it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Just thought I'd clear up some of the... that takes a lot of work to think of all these subjects while you're looking at one stone, and then repeat that over and over and over, even with smaller ones that light up. Now you're in the game. Go find some stones and let's make this world better. Thanks very much.